will they be ready? I mean, will the electric grids, which are under pressure, be ready, et cetera?
I mean, it's just, I'm sorry to laugh at it because it's really not funny, but, my wife and I have been driving, we drive in the summer and you see these signs and they say like, hey, it's too hot. We don't have enough electricity. Don't charge your EV and don't use your air conditioning. So this is the condition we're at with relatively low EV penetration. And we're talking about getting rid of oil-powered vehicles.
Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Parts Talk. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate each and every one of you. Now, Ford, General Motors, and Mercedes-Benz are all expressing concerns about the dwindling demand for electric vehicles, or EVs. By last week, or at the time of recording this video, Ford took a hit by withdrawing its full-year results forecast due to uncertainties stemming from its tentative deal with the United Auto Workers. Ford CEO Jim Farley acknowledged the challenges the company faces in the rapidly evolving EV market, where consumers are often reluctant to pay a premium for electric vehicles. Let's take a look at this video.
Well, automakers, meanwhile, are cranking out more electric cars, but there is a big problem. There aren't enough buyers. Unsold electric cars are piling up at dealership lots all over the country. Here now is the Center for Industrial Progress founder and CEO, Alex Epstein. Good to see you, Alex. Thanks for being here. Now, EV sales account for about 6.5% of auto sales. They are increasing, but the sales just aren't keeping up with demand. The demand just isn't there to buy all the cars that are made. Why do you think this is?
Well, because this is something that's not being chosen by free people deciding what's best for them. It's something that's being coerced. Now, even with all the coercion, we're at about 6%. Mind you, Biden wants it to be by 2032, he wants it to be 67%. So he wants to dectuple it from where it is now. But even now, what you've had is all these EV makers have been pressured or incentivized or cajoled into producing more EVs than the market wants. What we should have is a free market EV policy where people are free to make the best EVs they can, sell them on the market, but not be subsidized, not be mandated. That way we can have better vehicles and we can have EVs as our grid is ready.
One thing with Fox News, they're not afraid to challenge the status quo, regardless of whose toes they're going to be stepping on. But to continue, Farley emphasized that simply having a great product is no longer enough, and automakers must now focus on the cost competitiveness to stay afloat. General Motors too face challenges, and at the time of recording this video again, because things are moving so fast in the technological advanced world we live in, CEO Mary Barra announced the withdrawal of the 2023 profit outlook as well. The automakers, that's GM, plans to slow down the launch of several upcoming EV models to reduce costs. Barra stated that GM aims to trim fixed costs by $2 billion and will adjust the pace of EV production in North America to match the current demand and enhance efficiency.
Government dictated disaster.
And that doesn't work. I mean, we remember those 5-year plans, the 10-year plans in the old Soviet Union. I guess China still has them. The ideas of leaders who think that they can direct the private sector and consumers in certain ways doesn't really work, but you see it on state level as well. You live in California, they're preparing for all electric, I think even sooner than Biden wants the whole country to go there. Will they be ready? I mean, will the electric grids, which are under pressure, be ready, et cetera?
I mean, it's just, I'm sorry to laugh at it because it's really not funny, but, my wife and I have been driving, we drive in the summer and you see these signs and they say like, hey, it's too hot. We don't have enough electricity. Don't charge your EV and don't use your air conditioning. So this is the condition we're at with relatively low EV penetration. And we're talking about getting rid of oil-powered vehicles by 2035. So
no, these were sent upon us, particularly here in the West, with the two North American leaders, Trudeau in Canada and Joe Biden in the United States. But in a surprising move, GM and Honda ended their $5 billion partnership to jointly develop affordable EVs just a year after its inception. And GM also decided to postpone a $4 billion electric truck plant in Michigan. And these decisions reflect the shift in dynamics in the EV market. At the end of the day, people just can't afford it. Vehicles are piling up on dealership lots. As a matter of fact, Mercedes-Benz reported a decline in their third quarter earnings as the margins on their EVs were lower than initially anticipated.
No, they're not going to hit that, but anything in that direction is causing these problems. So right now we need to acknowledge, hey, these government dictated policies are bad. Let's get rid of them. Let's have a free market in EVs. And by the way, if you want to help EVs, why don't you actually allow mining? Biden claims to want EVs, and yet he shut down this amazing mining area in Minnesota among just being generally hostile to mine. So it's just a total scam.
And we have to go, but these edicts are based on the sort of rhetoric that you know, Greta Thunberg and others have come out with. Say, Greta Thunberg, I think, just put out that in 5 years,
how dare you?
If we don't get off of fossil fuels, the world will be gone. All civilized life on the planet will end. I mean, these kind of statements are not helping their cause, are they?
You know, Fox can over-exaggerate when they're ready. And back to what I was commenting on with Mercedes-Benz, and that the company's financial chief, Harold Willem, pointed out that some automakers are selling EVs at prices lower than internal combustion engine, even though the production costs are much, much higher, indicating an unsustainable status quo. The competition to take on the EV giant Tesla is intensifying, with rivals striving to match Tesla's competitive pricing. Tesla CEO Elon Musk recently voiced concerns about the high interest rates affecting consumers' ability to afford EVs, leaving the door open for potential future price cuts. And as you know, they have been cutting prices as time goes by over the last year or so. Now, let's keep an eye on how these major players in the auto industry navigate the challenges of an ever-evolving EV landscape and how they adjust their strategies to stay competitive.
Well, what they do is they just make people panicked and do really stupid, panicky things that make no sense versus actually thinking long term. I know we're running out of time, but if people want to learn more about this, check out my book, Fossil Future, which has a real energy roadmap for the future.
I'm glad you got that in there. Alex, thank you very much for being here, my friend.
But at the end of the day, we can always lament that this will directly impact the people at the bottom, because vehicles piling up in showrooms and on lots at dealerships will only result in people getting laid off in the long run. So we'll keep a close eye on it. And remember, the road to the future is electric, but the journey is not without its twists and turns. We will continue to keep an eye as this news and development follows. Remember to grab a copy of my ebook, The Parts Manager Guide. Please smash that like button on your way out. It will only take you 1.5 seconds to do so. Until next time.